What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're actually in the beautiful state of Florida and we're going to be talking about the ultimate fishing care package. Have you guys ever been in the situation where you were going on vacation and you knew you were going to do some fishing, but mom or dad wouldn't let you bring a bunch of stuff, or you had to fly there and it was just too expensive to bring fishing gear? I've been in that situation way too many times, so I've put together a box that is perfect if you want to throw it in your carry-on, slide it under the seat in your car, that is going to allow you to catch fish no matter where you go. So I'm going to show you guys the baits in this box. Along with that, I'm going to show you one specific setup that you can bring with you that's going to allow you to fish all of these baits right here and successfully catch some fish. So I'll show you guys what's in this box right here, and then we're actually going to put it to the test. We're going to go pond hopping at some lakes around here and see if we can catch some bass. All right, so really quickly, we're going to break down this box for you guys. Again, this is everything that you're going to need for, well, that I believe you would need to go fishing anywhere. So as you guys can see here, I have a mix of some soft plastics and some hard baits, and then we got some terminal tackle. First off, you guys are gonna want terminal tackle. Anywhere that you go, whether you're fishing with live bait or soft plastics, you're gonna want terminal tackle. So what we got in here are some EWG hooks, some straight shank worm hooks, and some Ned rig hooks. The next thing that I have in here is going to be a spinner bait. The reason that I picked out a spinner bait is because spinner baits are a great way to cover water. When you guys go to a body of water that you've never fished before, you don't want to spend a ton of time fishing in one particular spot. You want to walk around the pond, walk around the lake, cover as much water as you possibly can to see if there's fish in that body of water or to see if you can get on an active bite. So having a spinner bait is like my #1 go-to when it comes to fishing new places. Coming on next, we have a jerk bait. Now, a jerk bait isn't something that I'm primarily going to use everywhere I go, but there's going to be times where you're going to be fishing lakes or ponds that don't have a lot of structure, that might have a big rocky bottom, and it might be really early in the year in that place you're going or really late in the year. Like, I live in Ohio and right now it's like 28 degrees back home, but we're here in Florida and it's late November. So we're kind of moving into pre-spawn. It's a completely different time of year for this species of fish, so it's always good to have something like a jerk bait. Moving on to the soft plastic row right here. You got to have some type of craw. I always take a bandito bug with me or just a plain craw. I'm gonna take it in a black and blue specifically. If I'm only choosing one color, I'm gonna take black and blue. The reason that I'm doing that is because if you're fishing murky water, you're good to go. Black and blue is a great color to fish in murky water, but then in a clear water scenario, fish are still gonna eat it. They're not gonna be finicky or they're not gonna look away at black and blue. To me, black and blue is like a good universal color no matter what body of water you're fishing. Then I always keep some paddle tail swim baits in here. I usually keep a small size like this and then a big one like this. The reason I keep different sizes are big ones, I mean, you're gonna catch some big bass on something like this. You can kind of key in on bigger bait fish, but then having a small one like this opens a bunch of doors for you. No matter where you guys go, there's going to be species of fish keying in on other bait fish because that's just how it works. So if you guys are trying to get on a bass bite anytime that they're just feeding on bait fish, this is a good way to go. On top of that, you guys can pair it up with your spinner bait so that you have a trailer for that as well. Then we have our worm of choice. We have the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹, or what is known as the stick bait. I always choose a stick bait to bring with me, although it's not something I fish 24/7. It's no secret that stick baits catch fish. When in doubt, pull the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹 out. That's what I always say. We have a little inline spinner. This inline spinner is just in there in case you're in one of those scenarios where you can't get fish to bite. You kind of gave up on bass fishing. Maybe you want to fish for something else, panfish. Maybe you're in Colorado and there's trout there, or maybe you're at a stock trout fishery, who knows? The opportunities are endless, so it's never bad to have something that imitates a little minnow in there. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's just a great thing to have if you just want to catch some fish. And then, you know, we got a bass jig. You can't go wrong having a bass jig. Anywhere that you're gonna be fishing that has a big rocky bottom, might have murky water, or the water's just really cold, it's never bad to have a bass jig. This is just something that I hold true to me, so I always gotta have one packed up. We have some square bill crankbaits, a big one and a little guy right there, just in case, again, you're in a situation where you have a rocky bottom, you're really trying to cover water. It's never bad to have a square bill. And then we have a frog. Can't go wrong with top water. Like here I'm in Florida right now and there's tons of bodies of water that are just covered in weeds, lily pads. So anytime you're getting in that thick cover and you can't fish any other bait in the box, it's always good to have something that you can be 100% weedless. So now going back to the terminal tackle that I was telling you guys about earlier, it's 100% necessary to have hooks because you can't catch fish without a hook. But the reason we have EWGs like this is to pair up with something like our bandito bug or our craw. Then we have a straight shank in here. This is gonna pair up really great with our stick bait, like our worm. And then we have a bunch of miscellaneous Ned rig hooks. Now that's kind of random. They don't exactly pair up with any of the baits in the box. So why do I have Ned rig hooks? The reason I do is because if you're in a situation where the fish are being super finicky, you can't get them to bite anything, or that water's really cold, you can turn around, rip off a little piece of this stick bait, or rip down your craw so it's really micro size, and you guys can have yourself a makeshift Ned rig. Ned rigs are a great way to just catch fish in any scenario where the fish are being finicky. There's not a bait in this box that if you go to a certain body of water, you won't be able to catch a fish. There's literally everything in here. Just play it by ear, go to the body of water, kind of analyze it, see what you're working with, pick out a bait, and then fish it. So here's the rod recommendation that I think you guys should bring with you when you're traveling. This is what I use personally, but this right here is specifically the Googan Go-To. It's a 7-foot medium heavy 2-piece casting rod. I love this. You know, I do like my 1-pieces, but when I'm traveling, I need to save money when it comes to shipping costs, or I just need the room in the car. It's really awesome that I can just, you know, collapse this thing, put it together like this, and take it with me. A 7-foot medium heavy is a great all-around rod to take with you. You know, it's a great size to fish the majority of the baits that are in that box, but if there's just one rod size that's going to allow you to fish everything pretty successfully, it's going to be a 7-foot medium heavy. Then the reel we have is a 7.3 gear ratio casting reel. A 7.3 is going to be a really good intermediate reel for you. You're going to be able to fish those baits that have a pause where you need to pick up the slack, because it is fast enough to pick up slack, but when it comes to fishing baits with consistency like a crankbait, you can just slow down a little bit and still fish those baits, no problem. So 7.3 is a great ratio to do a little bit of everything. And then I go ahead and just put braid fishing line in there. I stick strictly with braid because I rather have a lot of backbone, in a sense, anywhere that I go than not enough. So let's say, you know, I showed up here in Florida and I had 10-pound fluorocarbon. If this pond right here in front of me that I'm about to fish had a ton of weeds on it, I'd be a little weary throwing a frog with fluorocarbon in weed mats. So I'm gonna go ahead and put braid on there. Braid's not exactly ideal when you're fishing crankbaits and stuff like that, but it works. We're talking about convenience and something that's going to get the job done. So I think braid is gonna be the best all-around line to just get the job done. That's my breakdown on the rod. Once again, 7.3 gear ratio reel, 7-foot medium heavy rod, braided line. So now that I gave you guys all the information you need to know when it comes to traveling, let's go pond hop and see if we can catch some fish. Alrighty guys, so we are here about to go fishing. We pulled up on a random pond in a development. We are here still in Florida. So we're gonna go ahead and put these to the test here today. We're gonna pond hop and hopefully catch some largemouth. I'm gonna start off with the paddle-tail swim bait right now. This is gonna allow me to cover some water, and it's a great time of year to really key in on bait fishing. So let's get to it. There's one. Oh, we're doubled up right now. Oh, he spit mine. He spit mine. Oh, we almost had one on the swim bait second cast. Alrighty, so I'm starting off with the paddle tail swim bait like I was telling you guys. I actually have a weighted hook on here too. I love using a weighted hook with swim baits because it just gives it like a really nice belly roll. This paddle tail swim bait in general, the Biospawn Exo Swim, is like my all-time favorite. It has such a good movement in the water, but I use the bigger one. This is like the biggest one they make. We're in Florida, go big or go home. You know, there's big bass here, and we're at a golf course pond right now, so the potential is endless. I like that we got some rocks around here, so I'm gonna fish the edge first. Oh, I just got nailed right when I hit the water. Wow, that was quick. He's swimming in with it. Oh my gosh, these Florida bass, they fight so hard. All right, and there you guys have it. Ooh, today's gonna be full of bass thumb. Bingo. Oh, there's one. What the heck, dude? What on earth? Bruh, do you see the size of this thing? Oh, can you come here real quick? That's like a what do you think that is? Like 4 pounds? Seriously. Dude, what the heck? Guys, this thing is massive. Thank you, buddy. It hit and it fought for like 3 seconds and then just said, it just gave up. It just said, take me. There's one. Oh, they fight so hard. I love it. All right. Come here, buddy.
Did he swim up on the grass?
Come on now. I know somebody wants to bite it. There we go. Oh, I just missed it. Literally on key. I saw a bunch of bait jumping and threw the spinnerbait right through there. He didn't get a piece of it though. Ripped it right out of his mouth. There's one right out by those weeds. There we go. They fight so hard. Oh, this one's not bad. This one's not bad at all. Maybe the biggest one yet. Mean green fighting machines. I'm gonna bend my spinnerbait out straight. That's exactly what you did. Man, you're a feisty one. Alrighty, so we're gonna take off the spinnerbait. I'm gonna change it up. Bite slow down. I've caught a few. So spinnerbaits are a great way to cover water, kind of feel out an area, but the sun has gotten high in the sky. We're going on like noon here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of get lower in the water column. I'm gonna grab an EWG hook and a bullet weight. And we're gonna try and just jig a 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹 off the bottom. I'm gonna go with like this pearl watermelon color. I think that'll get bit right there. It's like the ultimate juice. Whoop. Complete change of pace here. Oh, dude, that was the sickest thing ever. Oh my gosh. He followed it all the way in and then just smacked it here in front of me. Wow, that was crazy. You gotta let him eat it sometimes. That was sick. Oh my gosh. What an aggressive fish. There's one. Oh yeah. You guys know stick baits just make fish go crazy, but it already is producing more fish than the spinner bait, so I'm gonna keep rolling with this. There's one. Little guy. Thank you. Oh, jeez. They are so feisty you can barely hold on to them. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna go back to this big old swim bait. This next pond we just pulled up to looks like it has a ton of lily pads and weeds. I was gonna throw the square bill, but it's completely drastically different, so we're gonna go ahead and do a weedless swim bait. So we're gonna go back to this. I don't really love fishing a giant bait like this when it's hot, but given the fact that I'm in Florida, I can make an exception because these fish just have a mind of their own. So plus it seems like with these fish feeding on things like cichlids, they can handle a little bit bigger appetite. So we're gonna try and rig this guy back on and hopefully go out there, catch some fish with it. Kind of thinking I should pull that frog out. Good thing I brought a frog. There's a lot of options we can do here. I probably actually could have got away with the square bill. It's way deeper on the shoreline than I thought, but I'm still feeling confident with this swim bait. Wow, this is real deep. I didn't expect this to be that deep.
Let me know if you're gonna do that. I almost cast it right into your line. Yeah.
There's one. There's one. Running the swim bait over these rocks is so fun. Okay. Boom, boom. Alrighty guys, so we just pond hopped for a little bit with this box right here. You know, I primarily used the swim bait, the spinner bait, and the Senko, but we caught fish, we were successful. Take these baits right here, go ahead, put them together. I'm telling you guys, in most applications, no matter where you go, these baits should be able to help you find some fish. We gotta go inside. It is so stinking hot. If you guys are new here, do me a favor, smash the subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.